Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm very, very thankful to welcome NBDA Associate member Ascent360 to our webinar today. Scott Buelter, CEO and President of Ascent360, is joining us along with partner Jason to walk us through the exact steps a retailer should expect in working with Ascent360. Ascent360 helps to build customer loyalty and drive repeat business. And the NBDA has been working with them and really promoting the importance to retailers. Outside of that, we wanted to take away all the guesswork. And that's when I worked with Heather Nookson, which is the VP of Marketing at Ascent360, to develop the content for today's webinar around actionable steps. We want you to see the process that you would need to take part in to get started using Ascent360 today. It is very important as we're working as an industry to reach customers in new ways. The COVID for the past couple of years has really changed the way we communicate with customers. And what you'll learn today will help you take advantage of all the opportunity available to you. So with that, Scott is going to feature a new bike retail client based in Canada, Bike Zone, and he will demonstrate an actual client campaign build out from start to finish, as well as be available to answer questions at the end. Ascent360 integrates with Lightspeed, Ascend, Shopify, Celerant, and tons of other point of sale Ecomm systems, and we'll get into that all today. So I think without further ado, I'll turn it over to Scott and Jason to take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather. Hi, everyone. As Heather mentioned, my name is Jason Root. I head up our operations and services team. So I get to see firsthand how our bike retailers are using Ascent for effective data-driven marketing. And before we jump in, we wanted to start with a poll question and get a little feedback from everyone. And that poll question is, are you currently using automation as part of your marketing strategy? And the options to answer are yes, kind of, not sure, and I wish. So we'll give you about 15 seconds to respond to that, and then we'll jump in. All right, great. Well, it looks like this is going to be a helpful demo today. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Scott, and I'll start by asking you, how are you seeing email marketing and segmentation change over the past few years?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, email marketing continues to be, if you will, the workhorse of direct consumer marketing. It's by far the best way to communicate with your customers. There are lots of other ways that our platform helps with, like, Facebook ads and SMS and Google integration and those sort of things. But email marketing is it. It has changed quite a bit though, right? If you go back 10, 15 years, all marketers sent, what you might call a newsletter. And that newsletter was something maybe they'd send once a month at the beginning where people would subscribe to the newsletter and they would give them some bit of information, right? Maybe these are some changes to our store. We're opening a new store, or here's some of the new products, or we're carrying Kona bikes, or whatever it is. And those newsletters then became, hey, let's send it once a week instead. They're making good money, and many people even turned it into, hey, let's send it literally every single day. I actually was with a large retailer, and this is probably 10 years ago, and they sent an email to their entire audience every single day. And I was talking to the CFO, and I said, well, are you not worried about doing that, that you're going to, turn off your subscribers? And the answer was, well, look, every time we send one of these, we make money. So why in the world would we not send it? Because it works. And I think what this person and many other people found out is that the success of those emails is not working anymore. It continues to go down. There was a time you were talking 30% open rates, 25% open rates. Most recently, I think for retail, it's something like 12 or 13% open rates on a email that goes to the entire audience.
Yep, I'm seeing the same thing, that with a little bit of a downturn in newsletters, but we are seeing email volume overall still growing. So what are marketers doing?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Across the globe, and it's actually if you back out spam, right? There's still a lot of spam, but if you back out spam, overall email volumes continue to grow. The user base of email continues to grow as well. So what marketers are doing is effectively what works, and what's working. It's effectively segmentation. That segmentation can be behavioral. It can be behavioral, meaning like some action the user took. It can be based on demographics or psychographics or something else. And with these type of emails, we're still seeing open rates of 60% plus. If you're sending an abandoned cart email, as an example, we're seeing open rates of 75%, right? It really, really works. Why does it work? Well, someone was actually on your website yesterday. They actually put something into a cart, and now they're getting an email from you. They're in market, they're excited, and they're gonna open your email to see what you're telling them.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Well, why don't we take this opportunity to jump into the product? You can start showing us how to use the platform and create some really effective bicycle marketing campaigns.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm actually going to be using one of our clients, the Bike Zone. They're up in Ontario, Canada, a couple of stores, fantastic retailer. And they've agreed to kind of let us do some of this live. And the value here is that we're actually going to show you what it takes to do one of these things, kind of soup to nuts. So it's going to be a little bit slower than maybe some of our emails, or our webinars, but at the same time, we're going to really dig in there. Let me just give you a high-level overview. If I want to go do stuff about email, right, designs and templates, it's all here. Some of the audience creations over here. If you want to do kind of analyze, right, look at data insights or customer lookup, it's here. And then getting data like building forms, which we're going to do today, is over here. I'm actually going to start in this tool called Audience Selector. And in Audience Selector, this is actually how you build an audience. And when I say audience, that's the people that you want to send an email to. So you can see I've got a post-purchase 7 days over here, and all I have to do is drag it over. It's already created. And this is where they use the transaction date and they bought a bike. So this is anybody who bought a bike 7 days ago. I'm actually going to build that really quickly, right? It's very easy. There's not much to it. As you can see, I used a field called transaction date, which is right here somewhere. Where's transaction date? Oh, there it is, transaction date. And then I'm going to use category 1. And what does category 1 mean? If you look, when I go edit category 1, it has things like accessories, bikes, BMX clothing. It's exactly the same stuff that is used by your e-commerce platform. You see it all up here: bikes, accessories, components, clothing. And category 2 is the stuff that's under there. And category 3 is the stuff that's under there. So if you just wanted to, send an email to about cruisers, then you would just choose category 3 and choose cruisers or something like that. So, excuse me. So here I am going to choose just bikes, and I hit save. And then I'm going to choose the transaction date, and I want this to be dynamic, and I want it to be equal to something which is 7 days before today's date. And if that's confusing, you can actually click test this date and see, okay, that's March 22nd. We know today is March 29th. And that means I can hit save here. And now I've got an audience, which is going to be every single person who bought exactly 7 days ago. And tomorrow it's going to be the same thing, but again, 7 days. So that's effectively 6 days ago from today. So that audience is ready to go. We built the right set of people.
Great. So we've got the targeted audience of 7-day buyers that we want to target. So how do you build and automate that email?
Yeah. So let's dig into that as well. If you go over look at emails, I've got something here called templates. And what we've done is build a nice, easy e-commerce template. And the purpose of this template is to The purpose of this template is to easily be able to create and recreate emails that have a consistent look and feel, that reduces the amount of work that you need to do to go build an email. So it's saying, well, what do you want to call this? I'll call this the 7-day bike post purchase, and my subject will be, enjoying your new bike with a question mark. And there we go. I'm going to hit save. I will save it in this webinar folder. And what will open up is that template. And as it opens up, I'll show you some of the sections of the template. So first of all, as it loads, what you'll see is, at the very top, you've got a logo and a menu. That's already going out to the website. You don't need to redo that stuff. Then we've got this kind of hero area that has a big image, some hero text, and some other text you can write. And then we've got a product section, right, where you can sell products. And in this case, that is the strategy of what we're trying to do. Someone bought a bike 7 days ago. Maybe they need a helmet. Maybe they need shorts. Maybe they're interested in a GPS or a light or something like that, right? Maybe they went on a ride and were coming home late and realized that, hey, geez, I don't even have a light and I should go get one of those. So there's the products. Now we've got a section of categories. Later in our welcome email, you're going to see that we use this section for the welcome email, not the products. And then we have a special offers section, and finally the footer. The footer has legal in it. It's required to be included according to canned spam. So you have all of that stuff ready. So now what I'm going to do is actually just start to build out this email. I did already take the liberty to, think about, hey, what do I want some of the text to be, and what products do I want to sell? So I don't have to go through some of that, but I'll show you kind of step by step, right? So the first thing would be, well, I want to click on change this image, right? This is, tell your story here. It's just a placeholder image. All I need to do is click change image. That will open up my image folders. I've got lots of images. I can go over to this one, and I've got a whole folder full of hero images. I already prepared this one right here, and all I do is click on it, and it opens up. It says, thank you for your purchase. And now I can just go about editing, right? In this text, I can say, enjoying your bike. And then, add some other text. I did write a little bit here that says something like, to this account. All I have to do is double click on it, hit paste. Maybe I need to center it like it was. And, it says, get all the gear you need. Here's a button down here. That button, I actually want to do something like, I don't know. Well, you know what? I actually wrote here, schedule your tune-up. So maybe I'll send this to schedule your tune-up. And I'll get rid of this text. Oops, I'm trying to put caps lock. Tune-up, maybe put some exclamation points. If I don't like the size of that, because I did just make it a little bit smaller, I can just choose it to be a little bit bigger. Maybe something like that. I think it looks great. Now I've got the top section. Now I want to think about the product section here, and what products I want to sell. In this case, I'd actually like to have a whole nother product section. So I want to sell 6 products, not just 3. All I do is hit duplicate here, and you'll see that it just recreates it again. If I want 9 products, then I just hit duplicate, and lo and behold, right, we've got 3 by 3 of products. Maybe I want to get rid of these category sections, so little trash can. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. And what you can see is that, hey, we started with a really robust template that has all sorts of stuff on it. I've made it much simpler to be the big hero with a number of products that we'd like to sell. Something else I'd like to show you really quickly is all around images. And what we've actually done is integrate into e-commerce systems like Lightspeed and Shopify and BigCommerce and Ascend. And what you'll find is that there's actually a folder here which says Lightspeed Ecomm, and it's actually all of the images that are inside of the e-commerce platform. So in this case, you'll say that we have 4,728 images. They're not really in our system. It's actually just looking at the e-commerce system. So when I click on it, you'll see all the images here. I could choose a subcategory like accessories, and it will pop it up for me automatically. That's what I'm looking for. I click the search, and it will give me all the accessories. You can still see there's many pages of accessories. So I can just find all the right images. In this case, any of these I can actually click on, and I can actually look at the large image, and you can see it's looks beautiful. Well, it looks a little fuzzy here, and it's only because the actual, in this case, Lightspeed thumbnails are relatively small, so it doesn't take up too much space. I can also click on this little thing, and it will take me to the product details inside of the website. Well, that product's actually not in stock, so it took me to the homepage. But that's what this does for you. And so you can pretty easily roll through this and decide, hey, these are the products that I'd like to sell, and these are the ones that I'd like to add into this here. So as we know, I already planned a bunch of images, and I'll probably just do 3 as we kind of look at this. And so all I need to do is edit this stuff, right? I've got an image, I've got a product name, I've got a review stars, I've got kind of a description, a cost, and then a link out to the website. So let me edit those things now. So I'm just going to hit change image. I could upload the images. I could actually click on the Lightspeed e-commerce folder. So we'd see all the images that are actually out on Lightspeed. In this case, I created an accessories folder already that has a bunch of accessories. So I'll choose this light here. Then I'll change this image as well. Do the exact same thing, but choose the Garmin GPS. And in this case, I will go change this to this lock. Now I just need to edit, the product names and the descriptions. So I kind of wrote them all here. There's this, Garmin GPS here, and I will just click in here and paste. Then I will choose the light and get rid of all of this. And now go find this lock. And something to keep in mind as I'm doing this, you got to decide how long you want these descriptions to be, because if the product description is much longer, it might flow to the next line over, with keys, and so now it's a little bit askew, right? That's all fine. You can choose to go into the other ones and put an enter at the end of them, so it all becomes 2 lines also. Or you can just decide, hey, I really only want my description to be 1 line long, or something like this. So I'm going into a lot of detail today. I hope it's useful. I'm going to keep kind of rolling through this really quickly. Here's my description. I'm going to copy that. Whoops, I didn't copy all of it, did I? There's my description, and I will paste that there. I've got the description of my Garmin here. I will do the same thing. I've got the description of mine, and all I did is pull these from the website, as you can imagine. I can edit the prices. It's $34.99, $549.99. So I'll go $34.99. That wrapped down, so I'll just hit a delete once or twice. This is $549.99. Oops. $49.99. And then finally, this wheel up block is $49.99. I can also just copy it and paste it, or just type it in. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. But so now, oh, I did it at the wrong place, excuse me. I should make sure that I chose the right price. Great. Now I've got the link, right? So you want to link out to that product, right? So I just need to choose this text, choose this text, has this little link button. It's exactly how it works in Microsoft Word and all the others. And I choose it there. I will also do the same thing for the Garmin and select this text and choose it there. It is worth noting that in this case, I actually chose to put these in as links with an underline, which is nice. This tool certainly has the ability to add those nice buttons, right? So I could add a button to the bottom of it and say buy now, or just view, right? Whoops. So that's adding a button. In this case, I actually like the design, how it's nice and compact. So I'm going to get rid of the button. To get rid of something, all you do is highlight it and click the delete button. Okay, so now we've got three products here, all nice looking. I can, if I want to, go preview this email, and to do that, I'm actually going to save this first to make sure I don't lose anything. Let's let it do its saving. It does autosave as well, right? Every 30 seconds or so, it is autosaving. So if in fact your internet goes out or you make a mistake, you really no problem. You'll be able to autosave it. You also have the ability to undo any changes if you make a mistake. So I could, add 3 exclamation points, or maybe I accidentally, just as a note, let's just say I accidentally delete that section. I say, oh no, I've got undo down here at the bottom, and all I do is hit the undo, and you'll notice that it's back. So I don't need to worry about making changes or losing my work or any of those things. All right, so I said we're going to preview this. So I'll go here and I will hit preview. And this is the preview of what it looks like. If you were to send it, I can look at it on mobile as well. And what you'll see here, and this is really nice, is that it's stacking on mobile in a way that's really nice, right? It doesn't show image, 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 and then the names. It kind of stacks those sections on down, right? It gets relatively long on mobile, but nonetheless, it's stacking it like you'd like it to. So I'm going to get out of the preview mode. Now I have my email that is in some case like largely complete. And I would naturally want to fill out the rest of these products just for the sake of time, and I'll bore you guys to death. I'm not going to do that, but I did it for just one row, so you can see effectively how that works. So in some sense, now all we need to do is say, hey, this is done, and send it, unless we want to make more changes.
Great. So, okay, so you just showed us how to build an email, pretty much like you said, soup to nuts, and it's pretty friendly, user-friendly, and you did that fairly quickly. But going back a little bit, there's a lot there. You built that email from a template. Could you talk a little bit more about the importance of a template and how you built it from that?
Yeah, I think templates are really just fundamental. And if you don't start with a template, your life is just a little bit overwhelming. So as you can imagine, the template that I just made is what we're calling an e-commerce template, but there are other types of templates to build, like a newsletter template. But it has all the colors embedded, it has the fonts already ready for you. It has the headers, it has the footers, it has the different sections. So it really takes all of the technical work out of building an email, right? So the work now is deciding what audience do you want to send it to, what creative do you want to send, and what's the message that you're trying to convey, right? If instead you're sending an email to someone who's never made a purchase but just signed up on your email, maybe you'll tell them other things like, this is where our stores are located or something like that. But you really don't need to go through the technical work of building an email from scratch, which is actually relatively complicated.
Great. And so a typical marketer might build 10 emails over time off the same template. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. In fact, when we look at the welcome email, what I actually did is get rid of this whole product section, and I just kept the categories section and edited that a little bit, rather than starting from a new template. I think one template should be robust enough to send just about 80% of the email that you actually want to send.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So can we take this email you just built and make it dynamic or more personalized?
Yeah. So I mean, on some level, it's already quite dynamic, right? What we actually know that this is going to do is go to only people who bought a bike 7 days ago, and that could be 0 people, it could be 10 people, just depending on how many bikes you sold 10 days ago. But so it's already extremely targeted. But imagine if what you really want to do is get a little deeper in the mind of the consumer. And one example that I like to do is say, well, why don't we, this is kind of an aggressive, maybe a little male-oriented hero image. What if we would actually want to send a different image to females, right? Most of the people in our system are known as their gender is known, in that our system assigns gender when somebody enters the database. So the way I would do that is I would just click on this whole row, and I want to duplicate it. So what I'm going to want to do is send this row only to males and this row only to females. And so to do that, I'm actually going to say, I'm going to have this row highlighted. I'm going to say manage display conditions. And I'm going to call this, males hero. And I could write a description, but what I really want to say is I want to match when the field gender is equal to male. And I could also, I could say I want it to be everyone who's not a female, right? So I could say, is not equal to female. And so that'll be all males and unknowns. So now I've just created that one. So this one right here is only going to be seen by males and unknown people. This one right here is only going to be shown to females. Female hero. And I'm going to say it matches, and that means that gender, and you can see that this is all like, prompt driven, right? Gender is equal to female, right? So now I hit save. Now I've got to change the image too, right? I'm going to click the image. I'm going to click change image, and this is going to load up my images again. If you remember, I've got all these heroes in a folder called heroes. If I needed to upload an image, I could click upload. But here's one that looks appropriate. So I just clicked on it, kind of thinking, and voila, I actually now have a male hero going to males, and I also have a female hero going to females. Now we can preview it, which is fun to do, and you want to make sure it's really doing what you want it to do. So now when the preview comes up, it's going to ask them to save it. When the preview comes up, sorry, preview didn't come up. Okay, now when the preview comes up, I can say, well, what do I want that display condition to look like? I want this one to be males only. And there it is. Look at that. Thank you for your purchase. Are you enjoying your bike? And for females, it is the female image enjoying your bike. So when this goes out, it's going to go out very dynamically, and only female purchasers are going to see this one. That's effectively, how the dynamic content works.
So you've got your male, female images set up. When you switch to the female image, it looks like you lost your text. How do you add the text to that image?
Yeah, there's actually a really nice new feature that probably most of our clients are not aware of, actually. Typically, the way that's done is, you open up an image editor like Photoshop or something and add the text on there. In this case, we actually now have the ability, a built-in image editor. And so all I do is click on the image and say, apply effects and more. This will open up the image in our image editor. And you can see it here, and you can see all the things I can do, right? I can add filters, I can resize it, I can crop it. I could add rounded corners if I want to, lots of neat stuff, but one of them is text, right? So I click on text and I say add text, and it's down here. I don't really like the color, so I'll change that to white. The font is wrong, so I'm going to change the font to Roboto, which is what we've been using. Now I need to double click in here and write, thank you for your purchase. That also looks a little too small, so all I have to do is go like that, make it a heck of a lot bigger, put it where I'd like to, and I'm done, right? So all I literally do is hit save. It will now replace the image that was there for a new image that has that text on it. So we actually haven't ruined the old image, right? It's actually a new image that now has the text on it. So now I've got this great email that is effectively going to males and females differently, that is selling all sorts of different accessories to people who just bought a bike.
Wow. Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah.
So most of our attention, so to this point, has been on purchasers. What would you do differently, and how would you target to prospects?
To prospects. So when you think about a platform like ours, it's called a customer data platform, meaning that there's a lot of customers in our platform, and these are people who've made purchases. But there's also a lot of people that will end up in your database who've not yet made a purchase. So the best example, or the easiest example, is if you build a sign up form and you put it on your website, those people who sign up, they're fantastic prospects because they're signing up for a reason, right? They're interested. Maybe they're in market, maybe they want to buy a bike, maybe they're hoping you're going to send them a special offer or something like that. So what I've actually done is I've already gone and built a design that we'd like to send to people who just signed up. And it's in this folder here, and it's called the welcome email. This image not found just appears there for a couple seconds until it actually finds it. I think my internet's a little bit slow, but let me open this up and show you what the email actually looks like. So I used the same template, as you can see, but I edited it a bit already, right? It says, welcome to the team, glad you signed up, a little bit about Bike Zone, and it says, what Bike Zone's all about and some of the history. And in this case, it just has the categories, right? Because we don't really know what this new person might be interested in. But so let's not try to guide them to accessories. Let's guide them all over the place, right? So I've got a link to the bikes, a link to the components, a link to the tube and tires. And if I wanted to, there are more categories on the Bike Zone's website. Let me make this thing a little smaller. As you can see when I'm here, right, there are more categories such as nutrition. If I wanted to, I could, I could come back here and create another set of categories if I want to, just like the other one. Maybe I want to keep the special offers, or maybe I'd like to remove it. But what I've got here is a email that's ready to go out to someone who just signs up. And what I'm actually going to do now is create a sign up form, and that sign up form is going to have first name, email address, and zip code. And since I know I'm collecting the first name, what I could do is go and personalize this. I could say, I want this to say, Jason, we're glad you signed up, or Frank, or Rochelle, we're glad you signed up. So I'm going to choose a merge tag, and the merge tag it's asking me for is I can choose anything. In this case, I want first name. It does ask for a default value, and I'm going to put friend, and hit insert. And you can see now it has a little bit of code. It's going to insert first name, and if it can't find a first name, then it's going to put in friend. I'll put a comma, space, we're glad you signed up. And now I'm going to save this. What I really need to show you though now is, well, you got to go collect the data somehow to send to a prospect. So up here at the top, we've got integrate and forms. I am going to build a brand new form from scratch. And hopefully what you're seeing through this is we're doing most of the work to get all this stuff done without taking too much time. So I'm going to say add new, and I'm going to add a new form. And it's going to give me some ideas, right? What do you really want to say here? Full name, email, permission. You can do all sorts of stuff. If I choose this last one, it just has a ton there, and it will kind of auto create a form for us. It is in the process of thinking, so give me a sec to, or give it a sec to do its thinking. All right, there we go. It seems to be coming in. So the first thing you'll notice is this looks a lot like the email designer. What we've actually done is make our form builder look a lot like the email designer. When it comes up, you don't really see much. It doesn't really show much, but you just got to go to some of the settings and say, hey, that background color, I'd like it to be that same gray that the bike zone uses. Oops, put the wrong one. The same gray, or maybe the content area we want to be red or gray or some other gray. Maybe I like that gray, and then I choose actually the other content area to be transparent. However you'd like this to look. And again, I created a default form that has way too much information on it, and that's really not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of those fields. If you remember, I kind of said, well, why don't we just include first name and zip code and email address. I'll get rid of some of these other fields. If in fact I got rid of zip code and I want to put it back, then I just go back to add new fields down here. I don't need gender on there either. So get rid of that. Okay, now we've got a pretty simple form. First name, zip code, email address. I like to know people's zip code because if they live near the store in Ontario, then I'm gonna maybe treat them a little bit differently than if they don't live down the street. I'm gonna add a few more things. I'm gonna have a row at the top. I'd like to put the logo there. So I'm gonna click there. I'm gonna add an image, and I'm going to go to my images. Whoops. Oh no. It just kind of died on me. A little bit embarrassing. I will go with an easier form just because that took a bit. Again, I will add a row to the top and try to add that image again. I really don't know why it did that, and I hope it doesn't do it the second time. Nope, there we go. E-commerce template. I know where my logo is. It's in here somewhere, maybe on the second page. Oh no, I saw it on the first. There it is, insert. I've got the logo there. Again, I want to click here and make that the gray color. So I can choose settings and choose the background color, the content area color to be that gray color, maybe a darker gray, if I like the way that looks. And so now I've got first name, last name, email address, that's fine. I can, if we'd like, perhaps add another row and add some text. And so I'll just put the text there, and now I can edit that. Please sign up below. We will include you on emails that are that match your interests, or something like that. Maybe not perfect, but I've effectively built a form here. There's a lot of other options, right? I can decide to put these labels on the inside of the fields. I can change the text color to red or blue or whatever I want, or the bike's on orange color. Whatever that really looks like, I can change the spacing, and so you've got a lot of options on how you actually want this whole thing to look. But I'm just going to hit save here, and I'm going to call this the email sign up form. Welcome. I could write a description here, right? Simple sign up. Source and type, a little confusing, but you're really saying where this is, right? So the source name is going to be the website, and the source type is going to be the footer or something like that. And so what you're really saying is that you're going to put this form on the website. So now it says, well, okay, if someone hits submit, where are you going to send them to? I'm going to send them to the bike zone. Let's make it simple. So whoops, I keep losing my tab. So I'm going to include that here, the bike zone. Do you want notifications to go to someone who signs up? Heck yeah, I'd like them to send that welcome email. All I need to do is here, click edit, click my stylized designs, click my webinar folder, and I've got that welcome email that we're going to choose. And so now when anybody signs up, it's giving me a warning, right? It contains merge tags. We already know the merge tag that's on there. It's first name. We're collecting first name on this field, so we're all good to go. But if you put one other one, like if you had a merge tag of zip code or something, then you'd want to be aware of it. No problem there. And then all I need to do is hit save here and publish. And so this is going to opt people in. It's giving me another warning, so that sounds great. I'm going to publish it. So great, I've got this published form. I'll actually show it to you really quick. I'm going to open it up. Is the form. I can fill this thing out. My name is Scott Buelter. This is my home email address, and I'm going to hit subscribe. And it sent me to the bike zone as a thank you page. Maybe we'd want a better thank you page, but didn't want to take the time to do that. But we've effectively now, kind of really worked through the entire, building of this email and a sign up form. And now we're actually communicating with prospects directly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, nice recovery there, Scott. We got to show everyone how easy it is to make a web form, not once, but twice.
Yep.
It's probably worth mentioning, we're not at our normal location today, and so we've seen a little bit of glitchiness. Not ideal for a demo like this, but so back to the form. Once you have that welcome email built and the form, how do you automate it and start collecting the data?
Yeah, well, so on some sense, it actually is already automated, right? So it is published. Now you've got options for how to publish this on your website. And so this right here, under embed, you've got links to the form itself. So you'll see if I click this link and I paste it in, it will go right to the form. If instead, I've also got an iframe embed and a JavaScript embed. And these are the codes that you really want to just give to your web developer, or if you know how to do this, right? Ascent doesn't have access to the Bike Zone's website, but most commonly, and if you want to do, make this a pop-up or something like that, you're going to choose this JavaScript right here rather than just a simple link, and you're going to embed that into your website. If in fact you just wanted it to be a link like that, you certainly could be. And then anytime someone fills it out, they will actually get this email that we made. And if I opened up my Gmail right now, it would already be in my inbox, because as you saw, I just actually did sign up, and it's coming from the Bike Zone. This is the email it's coming from, and the subject line is "Welcome to the team." All of that you can edit. If you really wanted to, you could actually copy yourself on the submission details as well. But nonetheless, what's really happening is that anyone who fills out that form, their data is going into the Ascent360 customer data platform, where all of your data is. And now, if they made a purchase, they become a customer, and you can include them on all sorts of other emails that you're going to be building over time as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting a little bit near the end of our time, but I think we have another poll question that we're going to get to, but with just a few extra minutes, are there any other recommendations or advice that you would offer everyone, or other marketing tips they could use within our software?
So one other quick one, and that is that we also have a pixel that you can put onto your website. And so I'm going to switch into a demo account called Boulder Mountain Gear and show you that. And it's a little bit confusing, but what we actually have is the data of web tracking. And that means as your customers navigate your website, they are looking around the Bike Zone website. If we can identify who those people are, and we typically say that, okay, well, we sent them an email, so we know who they are, and we know that Jason Root is one of those people that is wondering about the website. You might want to build an audience to remind them to make a purchase, right? And all I need to do that is click web tracking. I could say that the last time they visited, or the visit date, why don't we make the visit date 7 days ago, right? So they visited the website exactly 7 days ago, exactly the same thing we did on post-purchase, but now it isn't using whether they made a purchase. Now it's using, hey, they visited the website 7 days ago. So it says 7 days before today's date. When is that? Okay, that is the 22nd. I click test this date. And now I have an audience of just individuals who were browsing the website 7 days ago. It's all pretty straightforward. You could do the exact same thing if you want it to be an abandoned cart email, right? To do that, you'd bring over page name, and you'd say, well, what page do you want it to be? You want it to be the cart. So I need to have it be, no, I actually don't want that one, excuse me. Did it a little bit wrong. I want it to be the page URL, okay, sorry. And this one, I want it to be the cart. So I just got to go find, which of these actually is the cart. And I choose the one that is cart. There it is. And say select here. And now they were at the cart 7 days ago. And that's, a pretty easy way to create an abandoned cart email. All I need to do is save this, build an email, and have that automated to them every day. So all the people who abandoned their cart 7 days ago will get that same email.
Great. So anyone that bounced around and maybe didn't complete a transaction, we have a way to message them.
Yeah,
Make sure we stay in front of them.
that's exactly right. And I know I went through that piece relatively quickly, but hopefully you can see that hey, in the space of 51 minutes, using a template, we created a few audiences, we created a forum, we created an e-commerce email, and effectively got the whole thing together so that will now send to people who made a purchase.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Scott. And for everyone, that pretty much closes up the prepared material that we had. We did want to jump to a poll question, and then I think we'll have a few minutes to answer a question or two. So moving on to the next poll question, and as a reminder, we will be sending out some gift cards to a couple of winners who are randomly selected from their poll answers. But the question is, are you interested in a complimentary data-driven marketing automation assessment? And the options are absolutely, or too busy right now, no thanks, we're already organized, or I'm already a client, or unsure, or not applicable. So we'll give you, again, 15 seconds or so to respond to that. And then I think we'll look to answer a question or two before we wrap up. Okay, so I think that's plenty of time. We appreciate everyone's participation in the poll questions. And then I see a couple questions here, Scott. I'll just start with the first one. This came from JT, and it's just asking, hey, does this pull data from the website, or does it come from the store, or both? Basically just asking where we pull the sales data from.
Yeah, so the sales data comes from either your e-commerce site or your point of sale system, or both. And here you can actually see that there's four that we integrate with, and Lightspeed and Ascend are very often used with bike retailers, but we do integrate with about 100 others. So all the purchase transaction data comes from either the e-commerce system or the point of sale system. But we also do have more data, and such as the website data. And when I say, well, I really mean the web browse behavior data. And that is, all the people who are clicking around on your website. If we've already sent them an email and we can identify who they are, well, they actually get added to the system so that we can send them things like browse abandoned emails and cart abandoned emails.
Great. And then we have one here from Steve. This is a good question. How does the system know the gender? Is it entered by the shop? Is it appended by the system?
Yeah, it's actually appended by the system. What we've actually got as data loads is a bunch of lookup tables. And effectively, if it's a male name, such as Mike or Robert, then we will assign male. If it is a name like Jennifer, then we'll assign female. And if it is a name like Pat, which could be Patrick or could be Patricia, we will assign it to being unknown. We are assigning gender about 85% of the time.
Great. And then Chris asked, is the platform able to differentiate emails by demographic, psychographic attributes?
Well, I'm not certain I fully understand the question, but I think the answer is yes, which is to say that the system will have some demographic information in it already, such as gender, and we geocode everybody who comes in, so we know what zip code they're in, and therefore we know how far they are from the store and things like that. But we don't have other psychographic information, such as income, but that data can all be appended. So there are sources to go get income, and you just use that to go append income.
Cool. All right, I'll ask one more. I want to make sure that we leave enough time for Heather to do a little bit of a wrap up. So one more question, Scott. Are you able to differentiate between bike styles the way we did male and female?
So yes, the answer is yes, right? So we know if someone purchased a road bike, or if we know if someone purchased a mountain bike or a cruiser, as long as that data is within your system, right? And your system being Lightspeed or Shopify or BigCommerce or Ascend, almost all the time it is, right? Almost all the time the bike zones are really well structured website. And so if someone bought a road bike, you can create an audience that you say, hey, I just want to send this to people who road bike, and another audience that is just to people who bought a mountain bike, and get them in their own lane, right? There's not a lot, mountain bike helmets and accessories often look a bit different than road bike accessories. And the idea is the right one, because if you send a bunch of road bike stuff to someone who only mountain bikes, you're talking to the wrong person.
Great. All right, Scott. Well, thanks for answering those questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a reminder, we integrate with a lot of solutions. You can see some of them listed here on this final page. Please reach out to us directly if you would like any more information or interested in an individual demo for you. And with that, I think I'll kick it back to Heather and Rochelle and just make sure that you're able to put a bow on this for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jason and Scott. This has been super informative. I love to see the questions in the chat pile in, because there are so many questions, and I really appreciate how you broke down exactly how to work with the system and just introduced all the capabilities that are out there that we don't even know that simply lies within our point of sale data. So thank you so much. As Jason said, to any of our retailers who are attending, please reach out to Scott or Jason. The entire team at Ascent360 has been nothing but amazing. I can tell you firsthand, every single one is just very accommodating and very welcoming. Any additional questions, they'll guide you through. Again, thank you for being here. A recording of this webinar will be in our member resources section if you want to come back to it. And I know the Ascent360 team will reach out with follow-up on those winners for the gift cards. Thank you so much, Scott and Jason.
Awesome. Thank you too.
Thank you all.
Bye now.
Bye.